Hello, everybody. Happy Halloween. And I want to say we have wrecked 100% on Grizzle Den Speedway. I can add no more to it. Um, so I thought, why not open the park? And we've got another grand opening, but this one is for good. Like I said, I can't do any more. I've uploaded it to the workbench. It is available to download and be able to go in and check it out. But like I said, for PlayStation 4s, it is at 100%. So it'd be hard to do. I mean, you could go and check out the rides and stuff like I've been doing, and that's kind of what I've done here. Is I'm doing some finishing touches on. This used to be the haunted house. I had to remove it. There was a little bit of stuff there. Instead of going through, I just covered it all up with foliage. My buddy gave me that suggestion, and this is a good suggestion. Use foliage. It don't take a lot. You can do a lot of landscaping with it without it actually adding to your percentage. And this is the grand opening. Welcome to Grizzle's Den Speedway. Grizzle's Den B&B is open. I checked it out later. It's successful. Um, Trying to think. I think the restaurant's very successful. Then B&B is not so much because the place has been closed. There hasn't been no guests in the park, so that means there's no guests at the hotel. But when I opened up the park, the restaurant filled up, and it actually was making money. I was in the green on that. I was checking that out earlier. So the hotel and the actual Grizzle's Den restaurant, B&B, bed and breakfast, are actually working. It's kind of cool to have something that you kind of built and created and basically franchise for Grizzle's Den. That's where it originated, was with that restaurant and hotel I built way back in one of my first parks. And I brought it into the clipboard, and I also put it, I think I got it on the workbench too. I think it's in there somewhere, but it's not complete. I can remember bringing it in and then having to do some fixing on it because it was, like I said, I this back when I first started learning how to play, how to put stuff on the workbench to begin with. It's kind of tricky to get stuff loaded and uploaded to it. But once you do, like my buddy, he opened up his part to me, and I was able to go in, and he's working on one now, and I just can't wait for it to be done. And he's been doing some neat stuff too. In fact, the big pumpkin scarecrow dude, I saw that in his park, and we talked about that for a little bit, and I had to put it in my park. So some of the stuff in this park was inspired by him and his build, and it's nice to have a community like that where you can bounce ideas off each other, and uh, it's like when. Oh, I also want to say one thing to all those that started to following the channel and watching the videos and stuff. I want to thank you. I appreciate it. Um, like I said, I'm all new to this stuff, so I'm kind of trying to be as polite as I can be. Um, the main reason for a lot of these videos and working is I'm having a blast with it. I love the editing part. I like the actually the building and stuff like that. A lot of the games I've played had building in it. Ark. I had some neat places built up in Ark. Minecraft. I've got the great staircase. I got one uh, Skyview Heights and then the Skyview Highway. Well, I've showed you a little bit of stuff, but this is my. Uh, uh, I'm having a blast with Carrier Sundays, and I went into my buddy's park, and I said no. That's when he brought me in. He was showing me around. I was his guest, and the first thing I saw was that carrier he had in his park. He had a ride with a carrier, and I said, I like that. So I went and I found it. It's an actual ride you can bring in. It's already been built and stuff like that. So it just kind of perfect. It fit the spot. I had something else there earlier when I did the portal thing. When I was trying to create that portal for World of Warships, and I used that other ride for it. I had a little bit set up, but this turned out so much better. And then in the meantime, I built a complex. I have Captain Morty. I remember talking about Morty. That's the it's sun tea I make. I put it in bottles with a label on it that says Captain Morty prop rum. And I don't mean the prop off an aircraft, which it could. It could be the prop rum, right? It's not real rum. It's just tight. It's just iced tea that I make. And because I try to break the soda habit, and I think the soda habit is not to put it down or anything, but I think it has an effect on your personality and stuff. Because I can remember my mood changing after I started drinking pop again. It was like, whoa, wait a minute. So I stopped drinking pop. I went back to the tea, and my attitude and my went the other way. It's like, oh, okay, all that carbonate. But see, then it creates that craving you need because you want to have it. And oh, it's hard to break because I got to drinking Diet Coke. And it was very, very addictive, but I finally broke it. And the teapot up here, the teapot shop up here, they turned me on to the tea, and it was a blessing. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I will be stopping and get more tea. But like I said, the actual, it's just green tea. I fill up, I've cleaned out some old pickle jars, clear glass, and I fill them up with good water from the bubbler or the fresh water tank there. Instead of using the tap water, it tastes better. So I use that. I'll put 2 tea bags in there of the green tea, set it in the window, and within a couple hours or so with the sun coming through the window, I got tea. Now I take the tea bags out, throw that in the refrigerator, put that over ice, and ooh, iced tea. It's refreshing, especially when I've been sitting here talking for 15 minutes straight without a break. Take a little sip of the tea. The soda would leave that sugary film in your mouth, which made you even more thirsty, so you drank more soda, and actually you're trying to quench that thirst, but it wouldn't quench because you needed more soda to quench. So with the tea, or even just plain water, just a nice cup of water, just nice, quenches the thirst. I loved it. So that's why I switched to that, and that's where the more tea comes from. It's like some of the in the hatch with the chieftain. I've seen him salute by toasting, and I figured if I charge my drink every time and I don't want to get drunk when I'm sitting here doing a lot of this stuff, so I created my prop tea, my prop rum, as we would in the theater. You'd create, because you wouldn't want your actors getting drunk on stage while they're doing 2 or 3 performances a night, supposed to be drinking, social drinking. So you create prop drinks. It'd be stuff that looked like a drink, but it wouldn't. It'd be water, or it'd be colored water. It could be like a ginger ale that's been left, it goes flat a little bit. You can still drink it, but it's not. Or you can have the bubbles in it to give it the impression of champagne. Rum is, like I said, I make my tea with that, and I put it in a bottle. It looks like rum. So, and that I use that for toasting. So, if I ever charge up a drink to get a drink and stuff like that, just it's not alcohol. And the reason I'm saying no alcohol is for my health, if anything else. If I kept going with drinking and alcohol, I'd probably be in fairly bad shape right now. So, getting older, my body needs less things to actually have to fight. So I do smoke, not cigarettes, but just I do smoke, which is I need it for relaxation and stuff. I don't need it. I like it. I enjoy it. But again, another thing I'm not going to promote. So I won't. I'll try not to show it on camera or anything like that. But there might be things within the studio. Sometimes I say, but yeah, it's legal. I don't have no problem with it. I enjoy it. So that's just my recreation while I'm sitting here editing, and it does help the creative process sometimes to just sit back and relax and just let things go and enjoy. Oh, I don't know how many times I've rode this ride, and it's just so fun and cool. I like going on there as then you put it on that orbital thing where you're following I'm showing you with my hand like you can see me. But that's what I do. I jump on a ride, I'll get an orbit, and then I'll ride around, and I'm kind of controlling the camera view. Panoramic view is nice. You can get some good shots, but then again, it's where the computer sends the camera. You don't have control of it. But what I've done on that there, though, I've put it on that. I've gone and done something and come back, and then I got a good set where I can use that for filling in somewhere. This is cool. This is the complex. It finally come together. Like I said, I'm at 100%. I think it says down there. I can't put any more. So that's why I said I opened it up. The park looks a lot better with customers in it. Look at the little fella's gonna buy a hat. Now the thing about this one, they only sell the one hat. This is the only place that sells the captain's hat. So anytime you see someone with a captain's hat, they'd have to come over and see the captain. Or in the area where the captain's at. See? They all got captain's hats. The other hats shop up top has hats, but it doesn't have the captain's hat. That's the only... See, I was trying to create those two different places so that way when you see guests in the park, it'll give you an indication who's going where and what they're doing. So they just got a ball cap. Oh, that's come from over there. Or this got a cowboy hat. That's from over where Alice is at. That kind of thing. So it's just a visual cue for us to build and say, oh, okay, this is what the crowd's doing. It's kind of like a little fun thing to keep an eye on. And like I was saying, it's kind of neat when you build something and you see it actually being used. Like when I just dropped in the attendant here, she opened up and immediately people went to start buying, seeing her coming off with the hats. Look at that. And people are using the picnic benches. It's like, yeah, it's working. The whole park works. There's the harbor. I didn't get to create, I was going to try to create a lock type thing that looks like it would go from the park down to the big ocean area out back. Alright, Mr. Editor, go to the beginning and start the audio clip. This is for the grand opening of Grezzel's Den Speedway. Video has been edited, cut and pasted. Transitions have been put in place. The music is in place. We have everything. What we need right now at this point is the script clip. Cut, print, and post. Put it in the Canon on the shelf from ELA Studios. Fill that in over. Thank you. This is getting better.